The Matrix programs you to seek harmony at all costs. It installs a dangerous psychological virus in your mind called the win-win scenario. It teaches you that to succeed in any conflict or negotiation, you must meet in the middle. You must compromise. This is the mindset of the prey. Former FBI lead hostage negotiator Chris Voss decoded the fatal flaw of this logic. If you want to wear black shoes, and your opponent wants you to wear brown shoes, the Matrix tells you to compromise and wear one of each. The result is not a victory. The result is a disaster. The elite do not split the difference. When you compromise, you immediately surrender your power. You negotiate against yourself before the enemy even speaks. The architect views negotiation not as a mathematical equation of dividing resources, but as a psychological battleground. He does not cut the pie in half. He extracts the entire pie while surgically manipulating the opponent's perception so they believe they won. Compromise is a glitch. It is the language of the weak. Today, we patch the compromise glitch. We initialize the hostage protocol. The Matrix conditions you to believe that empathy is a weakness. It programs you to view empathy as an emotional vulnerability, a desperate attempt to build a fragile friendship with your opponent. The architect flips this paradigm entirely. He deploys tactical empathy as an offensive weapon. In a high-stakes collision, logic is useless. When you argue with facts, the opponent's psychological shields go up. To extract what you want, you must first bypass their defense mechanisms. You do not argue. You disarm. You deploy the mirror. By simply repeating the last 3 words of your opponent's sentence with a calm, upward inflection, you trigger a glitch in their subconscious. Their brain is forced to elaborate. They begin to speak compulsively, revealing their hidden motives, their structural weaknesses, and their limits, while you remain a silent, impenetrable vault. Then you deploy the label. You do not tell them what you want. You state their emotions back to them. It seems like you are concerned about this risk. By naming their fear, you neutralize it. You make them feel entirely understood. You are not building a friendship. You are mapping their psychological architecture. You become a cold mirror, reflecting their own mind back at them until they feel so safe they dismantle their own defenses for you. The Matrix programs you to chase the word yes. Amateurs, salesmen, and the fragile masses are taught that forcing agreement is the ultimate victory. But yes is a trap. It is often a counterfeit defensive maneuver. When you push an opponent for a yes, their anxiety spikes. They feel cornered and manipulated. They will give you a fake agreement simply to escape your pressure, only to sabotage the deal later. The architect does not seek yes. He actively hunts for the word no. To the elite, no is not a rejection. It is a psychological illusion of safety. When a human being is allowed to say no, they feel powerful. They feel they have successfully defended their boundaries. They feel in absolute control. You must weaponize this biological glitch. You deliberately engineer your communication to trigger a rejection. You ask, have you given up on this project? Or is it a ridiculous idea to move forward? By deliberately granting them the power to say no, you instantly evaporate their anxiety. Their psychological shields drop completely. They relax. And in that exact moment of artificial comfort, the real negotiation begins. You grant them the illusion of control, while slowly and systematically pulling them deep into your frame. The Matrix programs the masses to meet force with force. When faced with an aggressive or impossible demand, the amateur reacts. They argue, they defend, and they attack. This only hardens the enemy's armor. The architect does not strike the armor, he bypasses it completely. He deploys the ultimate psychological weapon, the calibrated question. When the opponent pushes a rigid demand, you do not reject it aggressively. You look at them with absolute icy calm, and you ask a single, precise question. How am I supposed to do that? This simple sequence of words triggers a catastrophic system error in their brain. It forces them to pause, adopt your perspective, and literally solve your problem for you. They begin to negotiate against their own demands on your behalf. They believe they are in command, dictating the terms, while you have silently turned them into your own pawn. You grant them the illusion of control, while you maintain absolute mastery of the power frame. You do not compromise. You do not split the difference. You mirror their mind. You hunt for their no, and you let them build your victory while they believe it is their own. If you are ready to stop surrendering your power, dominate every high-stakes collision, and extract the entire pie, subscribe to the Lost Chapter. Patch the glitch. Initiate the hostage protocol.